I'm going to enjoy a beer here right after this video is done. But first, I'm just going to set this down real quick and just stretch out a little. Okay. Well, as you can see, it's been a while. I've been laying low. I've been, just I've just been keeping my head out of, drama and business and all this from YouTube. And, because there was a lot of things that were going on at that time. We were actually, there was something that I saw about a situation regarding some guy 27 and Don't Stand Too Close to Me, which was approximately over a month ago, which I'm actually still getting messages and comments about saying, oh, quit lying, quit being such a fucking hypocrite. Well, you know what, fuck it, whatever. Reason why is just I didn't want to deal with that bullshit anymore for something that was not even a big issue anymore. No one gave a fuck about it anymore. We all had to move on from that. That's not the only reason, though, why I moved on from that sort of thing. Other pressing issues came into that matter as well, and, with so much shit stacked upon everything else that you do, apart from work, and the other projects you're working on, which I will get to here in just a couple seconds. It just made it a little bit more of a difficult time for me at that point. And, I just said, let's just take a break for a minute and, just focus on what we're going to do. And thankfully enough, I did. And I'm actually working on my projects now, my DC one, which I've told you guys millions and millions of times about. My Star Wars project that I'm also working on as well. It's the Star Wars The Old Republic project. I had a friend of mine who actually was constantly asking about a ranker over and over again, which was pissing a lot of people off. That's irrelevant. And then I'm also working on my Grand Theft Auto project, which is something that I've actually done an accomplishment on, more than any of the projects that I've done, well, equally enough to the DC project. Anyways, that's basically all the announcements just for that point on time. So I need really... let me catch my breath for a moment, I'm sorry. What I really need to get off my chest is a lot of things, but I can determine that up in a sum plus of other videos later. But there's just one topic that I really need to just think for a minute before I speak on it, process my mind around the whole thing, because it was like last night to a day before that when I was reading upon this new trailer, and yes, this is the title. It's about Mortal Kombat X. Now, as any of you may have already know, or may have not already known, I'm actually one of the biggest fans of Mortal Kombat, ever since the whole game, since the first game came out to today. Now, I was more focused, the very first game that I played with Mortal Kombat was actually Mortal Kombat 3. And technically enough, I actually took it backwards and played 2 and then played 1. So that's kind of, it's just weird. Think of a storyline going backwards. And then we move up to the 3D games like Mortal Kombat 4, Deadly Alliance, Deception, Armageddon. Now, as a big fan, I do understand that, games do have flaws, and I can understand people weren't really a fan of the 3D aspect of, instead of side-scrolling, you could actually, turn the camera when you're actually doing fighting styles or actually fighting combat moves with, an opponent. So that's happened ever since Mortal Kombat 4. Now, there are flaws within those sort of things, and I can understand, but hey, it doesn't mean you can't, it doesn't mean that the game itself is shit. I played Deadly Alliance, I played the other games before. I played Deception and Armageddon. Those were two wonderful games. I like the Conquest mode on Deception. A little disappointed to know that one of my favorite characters, soon to know, kind of always dies. Technically Liu Kang for that instance, but hopefully he comes back for Mortal Kombat X. If not, I would be disappointed, but hey, you know what? Ed Boon has actually done a pretty good job with also the Injustice game for all, so I will give him tons of credit for that. He's actually done a tremendous job with these Mortal Kombat games. Now, true enough, he's had some flaws with Mortal Kombat 4, Deadly Alliance, Deception, and Armageddon, which Armageddon actually had the customization flaws. But still, it was worth playing, even though Conquest mode was kind of just But still, the game itself was pretty decent, so I gave it a pass. And then we had Mortal Kombat 9, which was actually great and satisfying. We actually added two of the old characters to the side-scrolling. I know this is kind of something I kind of repeated before back in Jonesboro, Arkansas, but something just to refresh upon them. But since we've got the positive stuff out of the way, let's focus on what other people think about this Mortal Kombat X game that's coming out. Now, I'm not one to make judgments upon it because, you know, you can't really judge something if you haven't really tried it. You know, that's been one of the oldest sayings, like saying if your mom said, you know, how do you hate broccoli if you haven't even eaten it yet? You haven't even tried it. And then you take a taste of it, and then it determines whether you like it or not. So when it came to this Mortal Kombat X trailer that actually came out, when I first saw it, in my perspective, I was amazed. I was just blown away. I mean, I wasn't really too much of the fan of the music in there, but it's like, hey, it's the first trailer ever. The first trailer where we see Scorpion and Sub-Zero, and a lot of people make the theories that this is a different kind of Sub-Zero rather than the other two. But you got to remember, it's 25 years they kind of claim, so things change. But when I saw this trailer, it was the side-scrolling again with the environments that you can use against your opponent. And then, of course, we also see Scorpion killing the shit out of Sub-Zero, and a lot of people got upset that Sub-Zero keeps dying. This is one thing I'm also going to be pointing out as well from what really kind of irritates me about what people are just reacting to so much. So, I've read the comments down below on this Mortal Kombat X thing, and I was just amazed in such a negative way, a negative manner way. Just blown away and just to the point where I just wanted to stick my two hands over my face like this and just break my laptop because such stupidity I had to look at on the comment section below. Let me point out an example. One person said, plain out, they don't like it. It's only one trailer, though. I don't understand. So, and another person says, oh my god, Sub-Zero keeps getting fucking killed, it's not fair, fuck Scorpion, fuck Scorpion. We gotta understand a little bit, you know, I love both Sub-Zero and Scorpion. They're one of my favorite characters on my list as well. But you gotta understand, Scorpion has been more than kind of the mascot for Mortal Kombat franchises, or the Mortal Kombat franchise, pardon my fucking English there. He has been the mascot for the Mortal Kombat franchise, and also the mascot of NetherRealm Studios. So, as a popular character, as opposed to one who was popular back in the 90s, which I do wish Sub-Zero was still more equally popular than Scorpion nowadays, but you gotta look at it that way. And then a person complaining about, oh, the rap music was so horrible. And then another person is like, oh, this is, I don't like this gameplay, when in fact that was the only trailer that has ever been released, and the game hasn't even been out yet. It hasn't been officially confirmed. The only thing that we got confirmation of was that there were brand new characters, which is amazing, by the way. We got confirmation about a bit of the storyline that it takes 25 years after the events of Mortal Kombat 9. We've also got the confirmation you can use the environments against your opponents, still have the fatalities, we still have that, and the possibilities that you may still have the crypt, and it may be a possibility, and I'm not saying this as a fact, because this part is completely subjective, that there is a possibility of character customizations. Hey, if Ed Boon could learn from Armageddon, I'm pretty sure we can still apply this to the side-scrolling. But the people to make these assumptions and just be completely off of the... Okay, that was completely weird. But to learn from these other types of things... I'm fixing to just kill that thing, whatever it is. But to learn from all this... It really just tells you that you can't make judgments and assumptions and allegations to something that hasn't been officially confirmed of its release yet. Hasn't even hit... I mean, we've only seen trailers and a bit of demo gameplay. That is it. So to make assumptions like these based upon something that was only one time, that made a one-time appearance, which it's made it stay on YouTube, obviously, and other websites, but it's made a one-time appearance as the official trailer. And people say they don't like the gameplay. You haven't tried it. So ladies and gentlemen, you know who you are. So I just want to say this to just kind of straighten this out. Wait until the game comes out. Then make your accusations, make your judgments, make your calls on whatever you think of the game. Before making these things, it's like people judging the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie that's actually either it's out or it's coming out, which is created by Michael Bay. Now, I'm not a fan of Michael Bay either. But I'm just going to say, even though if it doesn't really look like what Ninja Turtles would possibly look like, you can't just judge it and say, oh, it's horrible because you look at a fucking cover of the movie, or actually the design of what the movie is, and then think, oh, it's going to be horrible. No, you got to give the movie a chance, or you got to give the game a chance before making that assumption. Now, I basically originally had this written, but I just want to just say it out flat, because I know I'm not the best speaker, which is obviously to that, but all I'm saying is give it a chance. And if you don't like it, that's fine. Like, when the game comes out, and if you don't like it, after witnessing all of the things that you've seen within the game, the content itself, everything else, the crypt, the character unlocks, the story, the arenas, etc., etc., if you don't like it afterwards when the game comes out, that's fine. But please wait until the game comes out instead of having to just tell people, oh, this game sucks, yada yada yada, Scorpion sucks because he keeps killing Sub-Zero many times in every fucking trailer. Remember, he's the mascot. So I don't think the NetherRealm Studios or the Mortal Kombat franchise is going to give a damn what people think about that. Apart from that, from etc. and etc., I mean, people, calm the fuck down. It's one trailer. How is one trailer going to bring the devastation of a franchise down? Or how does it turn into shit because one trailer was released and everyone's flipping shits? But that's the ending right there. So I'm Josh Winnabow, the Thrash Metal Guru. You guys have a very wonderful day. And any of you giving me any threats or anything like that, by the way, just to give in a warning, do me a favor and don't ever watch my videos again. And also titled below, before I go, and I'm so sorry, that you are under no obligation to watch this. Every video from now on, I'm actually going to be saying, read the description below before watching the video, because I do not want people to get the idea of some misleading type of thing or to trick people into something, because I've never done that. So read the description or the title before watching the videos from now on here and then on. But anyways, you guys have a wonderful day. I'm signing off.